Many families find themselves in a financial catch-22 caused by COVID. It's trapped not only renters, but landlords as well. As 2 News problem solver Pete Knutson found out, eviction moratoriums meant to help are causing money problems for many people.
When the CDC and Congress placed a moratorium on evictions for folks who lost their jobs because of COVID, it did very little to help landlords who need to pay their bills too. Legal experts say many local, smaller landlords are working with tenants instead of evicting them. But lawyers at Legal Aid of Oklahoma say they're seeing an alarming increase in local evictions by larger, mostly out-of-state property owners.
From everything I understand, that this shouldn't have happened to us.
Until last week, this was home for Jeremy Chesney, his wife, and his grandparents. They adopted him when he was just a little kid.
It's scary not knowing where to go and not knowing what's going to happen.
They were evicted by the out-of-state owner of this mobile home park. Jeremy says COVID cost him his job of caring for the elderly, but he still had his grandma and grandpa to care for. She has dementia. He can't walk. So he found help at Restore Hope Ministries, which used cash from last year's CARES Act to pay the rent through January. When that money ran out, though, Jeremy received an eviction notice.
Now, I'm homeless and I don't have anywhere to go with my grandparents, and we did everything right. I mean, I don't know what to do.
Jeremy went to court and at first was told his family was covered by the eviction moratorium. But when the landlord asked for a second hearing, Jeremy said he never received a notice, and when he didn't appear again, he lost the case and he lost his home. Evicted, even though Restore Hope Ministries once again offered to pay all of the family's rent.
Again, we made another attempt there on the spot to pay the rent, and they still denied it. They made us get out of there, and it just seemed really unfair and unusual.
But lately, it hasn't been all that unusual, Legal Aid of Oklahoma tells us. Lawyers there say despite the eviction moratorium, some landlords, mostly those larger out-of-state owners, are using the legal system by scheduling more than one hearing for evictions, counting on tenants not getting the notice, not showing up for those later court dates. Eviction notices only need to be taped to a family's door. Lawyers say it could easily blow away in the Oklahoma wind, taking a family's home with it.
That's happening to lots of families in Tulsa County right now, where the landlord just sets a new hearing only for the purpose of asking the court to kick the family out.
As for Jeremy, he says he'll pawn the last few possessions he has, just so his grandma and grandpa can stay in a hotel for at least a couple more nights until he figures out their future.
I usually have all the answers. I don't have any answers this time.
Families like Jeremy's can actually get help paying for short hotel stays by calling 211. And big help is coming next Monday when billions of dollars become available nationwide for helping renters. The city of Tulsa alone will get $12 million, which will be handled by Restore Hope Ministries. And Legal Aid of Oklahoma has lawyers stationed at the courthouse to help families who can't afford legal help fight their eviction. Pete Knutson, 2 Works for You problem solvers.